State by state influence buying. Without FTC or SEC support, few states would ever prosecute a large MLM. Yet the mere presence of state anti-pyramid statutes or regulations posed a constant threat in the view of the pyramid lobby. The DSA, over time, has lobbied states to repeal or reword their laws so that retailing requirements were eliminated. Among the states to change or adopt the DSA-worded laws are Georgia, Louisiana, Maryland, Montana, Wyoming, Texas, Utah, and Tennessee. The influence buying and selling extends into every state legislature. I have been consulted by various state attorneys general offices who acknowledged being blocked from MLM prosecutions by legislators in their states with MLM ties. Some were told MLM prosecution would lead to cuts in their annual agency budgets. Others acknowledged the limits of their staffs and resources against large MLM defense funds. Beyond getting state laws changed, the pyramid lobby also focused on state attorneys general to become MLM allies. The industry has claimed as one of its great promoters the former Attorney General of Utah, Mark Shurtleff. While still serving as a public official, Shurtleff appeared to have publicly and officially endorsed the MLM USANA. He was also instrumental in protecting MLM pyramids by supporting a new law in Utah that effectively exempted MLM from the state's narrowed definition of a pyramid scheme. Examining contributor records of Shurtleff's 2012 election, the Salt Lake City Tribune reported that just two MLMs, USANA Health Sciences and Nu Skin International, accounted for about 10% of Shurtleff's total and half of what he gained from all MLM companies that year. It also noted that Shurtleff, quote, backed a 2005 bill that some contended safeguarded their businesses. In 2014, Shurtleff was arrested in Utah on bribery charges, along with another former Attorney General of Utah, John Swallow, who was also a major MLM backer. According to a 2012 investigative article in Harper's Magazine by Jeff Ernstshausen entitled Pyramid Insurance, Shurtleff received campaign contributions totaling more than $475,000 from members of the Direct Selling Association, DSA, since 1999, accounting for 14% of his donations from sources other than the state Republican Party. Regarding Shurtleff's successor, John Swallow's ties to MLM, the Harper's investigation reported that $114,000 of funds raised for his election campaign to date, June 2012, was traceable to MLM-related sources. North Carolina was also specifically cited in the Harper's investigation. North Carolina was once noted for active prosecutions of MLM pyramids under its clearly worded anti-pyramid scheme statute, but no longer. According to Jordan Maglich, who operates a national database called Ponzi Tracker, North Carolina is now within the top 20% of states where Ponzi schemes operate. The state has not initiated an MLM prosecution in many years, despite a major increase in MLM recruitment and in number of MLM companies in the state. Even the notorious North Carolina-based Zeke Reward scheme, which was classified as an illegal multi-level marketing company and the largest Ponzi on record in terms of numbers of victims, was not prosecuted by the state. Federal agencies closed the company and later brought criminal charges against the CEO, who went to prison. During the Attorney General administration of Democrat Roy Cooper, elected governor in 2017, North Carolina became home to the headquarters of ACN, the MLM famously associated with and promoted by President Donald Trump. North Carolina is also the site of a major new distribution center for Herbalife, the MLM that was fined $200 million by the FTC in order to stop, quote, unfair and deceptive trade practices. Executives from ACN, according to the Harper's investigation, gave $84,550 to North Carolina Attorney General Roy Cooper, quote, since the run-up to the company's relocation there in 2008, nearly 85% of their total campaign contributions during that period. ACN even got $600,000 in tax subsidies to move to Concord, North Carolina. ACN paid Donald Trump more than $8 million to speak at its meetings and endorse the scheme. As a native and current resident of North Carolina, and as president of Pyramid Scheme Alert, I wrote Mr. Cooper in 2014 asking him to investigate Herbalife. He did not respond. He has not taken action against Herbalife despite the FTC prosecution and FTC findings related to lack of, quote, retail sales that could put Herbalife outside the legal bounds of the NC anti-pyramid statute. Seeing the special value of their public offices to MLM lobbying needs at the state level, two former state attorneys general, Chris Gorman, Kentucky, Attorney General from 1992 to 1996, and Robert Stephan, Kansas Attorney General from 1979 to 1995, became, quote, legal advisors to the multi-level marketing company Fortune High-Tech Marketing. In 2013, the Federal Trade Commission and 3 states filed charges against the company for operating a pyramid scheme. The company was shut down. At the time, it had more than 160,000 signed up as, quote, distributors. Gorman of Kentucky and Stephan of Kansas, along with Grant Woods, former Attorney General of Arizona, also sold the same, quote, advisory services to the MLM ACN, which also hired Donald Trump as its main endorser and motivation speaker. The pyramid lobby's multi-pronged lobbying with state legislatures, governors, and state attorneys general, along with local efforts aimed at members of Congress, may be seen as spade work at the foundation of America's political establishment. Yet the entire coordinated campaign still depended on securing a sympathetic U.S. president at the very top of that establishment. Powerful influence was needed over the U.S. president to rein in the FTC and facilitate MLM expansion and protection with governments around the world. Buying into the White House.